So basically, um, the upshot of the whole thing, so Persia said, you're not going on the hockey tour. I'm not comfortable with it for a number of reasons. They've haven't done things properly, haven't really listened to what I've said, being particularly hostile and rude, said irrelevant things like, we understand Julian and Persia was living with her dad. Whatever, none of their business. Complete nonsense stuff. So all of this, they send this extremely rude, unfounded, in fact, email with no conversation with me, by the way. So where did they get that information from? Absolutely haven't included me in any, let's just call the mum up and see what the issue is. Maybe we can solve this. Maybe all her emails gone into spam. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe her, she's changed phones, she's not getting her WhatsApps, whatever. So, nothing. Sends me this thing going, blah, 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 blah. Completely inappropriate on every level. Quite distressing, actually. So I've been having a nice time with Persia, and I said, look, you're not going on the hockey tour. It's doesn't, I haven't seen the final thing of who they're going to be even playing, for instance. What is it, a hockey tour? Doesn't look like it. Who are they playing? Don't even know which clubs are playing. Not been sent. They make a big deal about safeguarding. I never said anything about safeguarding. That's a completely different meeting. I don't want to have a safeguarding conversation. I never said anything about safeguarding. Complete nonsense on their part. If they want a case study on safeguarding, they can do it on someone else's time. I'm not teaching them about safeguarding. It's nonsense. Anyway, then so I'm, emailing them and saying this kind of stuff. And I was really upset, and they should have known. I was really, really upset by it. So they could have just called me up and said, look, it's a bit upsetting for us. No, they're calling Julian up the whole time because he called me a few times today. And not only that, what we have with Persia, because from our family, we produce world-leading women. Disproportionate amount of world-leading women come out of our family. A lot of doctors, a lot of, best mark in the country kind of thing. People like myself, right? I didn't get the best marks in the country, but I did come top of my year in my degree at St. Martin's, blah, blah, blah. Very, very well connected. Our family, meeting political people the whole time, of course, and other world leaders, and friends with them. So this is the women in our family, in particular the women in our family. And Persia, she has quite a lot of freedom of choice. She has freedom of speech, she has freedom of choice. This is how we bring up world-leading women, world-leading girls to become world-leading women. So they say to Julian, get a court order so you override Persia's decisions. Imagine that. Imagine that. So far to date, Julian and me have never used lawyers. Quite the opposite. I'm extremely legal-minded, and so is Julian. We know what right from wrong. He's obviously extremely good at accounts. I'm extremely good at technology and data. So is he, actually. And we have traveled a lot as well. And Persia's our precious little girl. So we're kind of looking at what Emanuel is sending. It's extremely, emotionally violent towards me the whole time. Emotionally violent towards me and abusive the whole time. In fact, they're abusive to my face as well for no reason. I sent them a legal letter saying that their comms need to be correctly sent to me. And the whatever executive PA, she's like, in my face, we'll put it on file. Never refers to it again in any other email. We've put it on file. What kind of a school is this? Makes everything worse, 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 worse. They could have easily fixed it right at the beginning. Anyway, and again, they've, I guess other people have got safeguarding issues. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking about it. So then advising our family, first of all, to take away the rights of our daughter, give it to a white man. So not to me, not court order for me to override Persia's decision making, but to Julian, with no conversation, gives legal advice to create a dispute, a legal dispute between Julian and me. Imagine that at school, smashing up her family, excludes me, and then says they're going to do that. Imagine Emanuel school doing that, saying that Julian is to override Persia's decision making. Why? Well, she hasn't done anything wrong. And also saying her not wanting to go on the hockey tour, she's put on a brave face. I don't know. She was like dancing to K-pop and singing along with it. Imagine taking the voice away from one of the most intelligent kids in their whole school probably ever had. Imagine doing that. Would Elaine's do that? I don't know. You'd expect they'd just call me up and go, what's the situation? Let's sort it out today. Maybe there's been some mix-up with the data and we understand you've been hacked. Maybe there's some setting that's wrong. Maybe we've got the wrong email for you. There's some issue with the PTA. Let's all have a meeting to mediate it. Why has it got out of hand? Maybe there's, again, maybe, you're changing phones, you haven't got all the information. No, escalates, excludes, hostile, puts a barrier against me, against my daughter. I mean, what's my daughter going to think? She's going to think, what is this school? Just a bunch of racists. How does it look to everyone else? Just looks like they're a bunch of racists, doesn't it? I'm more qualified than Julian in terms of, say, teaching girls as well. I am a brown woman. I'm a brown female like Persia. She's like clinging on to me. We are both creative and outgoing. We're going to do loads of painting together. And, I'm also a sort of science expert or whatever. And I'm a loving mum. Never mind all of that. I'm just a loving mum. And I have a beautiful flat with a room that's been ready for her for months. And 3 months indeed. And the school are trying to smash it up. Why would they do that? What did they gain from that? What is the school gaining from trying to smash up our family? They have done not one thing to try and placate this in a nice way and quick way. Not one thing. They've just tried to smash it up. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they try and turn my ex-husband and my daughter against me? Why would they do that? Also, do they think that we are stupid and not emotionally close, that we would listen to them? Do they think that my daughter and my ex-husband, my life partner, wouldn't call me up straight away and be like, this is what the school's doing, by the way? Don't they think that's going to happen? Do they think they are closer to my daughter than I am? Do they think they are closer to Julian than I am? Why would they think that? Why on earth would they think that? He's not dating one of them, so why would they think that? What does the school benefit from smashing up our family? It's malicious intent, isn't it? If you look at the email trail, and if Julian also puts his side of the story in his communication with them, which he'll have to, of course, and Persia does as well, and if we put all the jigsaw pieces together of the school's behavior, of what they've sent to me, what they've sent to Julian, I've CC'd everybody, what they've said and sent to Persia, how Persia feels about it all, or how Julian feels and I feel, and the fact that there was no situation until they created a situation. There was no situation until they created a situation. Now, why would they do that? What are they getting? They have to explain themselves. I guess it has to be investigated by the police even. I don't know. Who do I send it all to? My local MP? It's not a civil issue, is it? It's a criminal issue. It's the kind of thing that would turn, close a school down. I'm sure other parents witnessed it. The school's behavior towards me, and probably other parents as well. I bet you the school have behaved like this with ethnic minorities more than white parents. Because I saw them give less care to ethnic minorities. I saw them. Everyone saw them. So if you apply that to other aspects, that's probably the case, isn't it? It'd be very easy to investigate that. But on this particular occasion, imagine trying to smash up a family like that. Imagine there is no process or procedure where my ex-husband calls a lawyer and does a court order. Why would he do a court order? What's it got to do? Like, how is that relevant to an email issue? Why is that relevant to an email issue? Surely they'd be going, oh, we'll get a technical person just to check what's happened. Maybe it's something on our side. We've got a wrong email address or something. That would be the correct solution, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be calling up my husband and saying, get a court order to override Persia's decision making because apparently she really loves being with her mum. Horrendous, isn't it? Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And now why would Julian and Persia be telling me all of this? Because they love me, right? And the school don't understand this. The school do not get this. So that's why they keep calling him up and saying, that witch ex-wife of yours, he must have really set them up. That's all I can say.